maybe we'll draw like Phil K. Dick. Can we see it? Or, I don't know. We ever get the drawing?
Yeah, it was on Roberto's screen.
I'll draw Phil
so
K.
he's gonna
Dick.
come back.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do Phil K. Dick. He gets rescued
Yeah.
by getting like a pink beam shot through his head from a satellite circling the Earth, which is God's.
I like it. That's a complete story right there.
Well, then he goes like, he had like his later period. He didn't write as much because he was putting all his energy into writing this giant rambling sort of. It was called exegesis, where it's sort of like a theological, exploring different ideas of theology and just trying to make sense about his like these religious visions he had. And it's like he ended up writing 10,000 pages.
Well, I'll say the last time I read all this was Minority Report time, which has got to be what, like 15 years ago now. So.
Oh yeah, no, I had the one kick where I went through and I read all his books around 15 years ago. Are we back on? Is that the thing? Okay, here we go.
Nice.
And then I'm just kind of I'm just gonna kick again, like going through it. Valis, I actually enjoyed the second time a lot more because he really gets it. It's kind of like a almost satirical. It's autobiographical, but kind of a satirical.
Sure.
Way.
Yeah.
There's like the autobiographical stuff, and then there's sort of the bullshit he passes off as autobiographical.
Yeah.
But you can't really tell the difference. And he goes into like all his ex-wives giving him shit and stuff, and like I can't relate to that stuff a lot more now that I'm closer to his age. Not that I've been married before, but
yeah, but you
crazy exes.
Yeah, you get the idea. You could see where it could cross paths.
Well, I can relate. Well, I won't get. Let's not get into
That's fair. We don't have to overshare. I get it.
Yeah, that's not.
But yeah, no, I think you've given me mission.
I need
to get refreshed on all this.
Yeah, yeah. Then we started on Kurt Vonnegut. We'd be here all night.
Yeah, that's that. I haven't read anything.
But yeah. Maybe try. My favorite's Bluebeard, but that's one's about an artist.
Okay,
right?
Yeah, fair enough.
But his most famous one is Slaughterhouse 5.
Yeah.
And that's a good one to start, I guess, because it's the most
accessible, I guess.
Kurt Vonnegut book. It's the most Kurt Vonnegut of all the Kurt Vonnegut books.
Good to know. I like this competing headshot thing we got going on here.
Oh, we both have to?
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing one, I'm doing one? This works, yeah. I don't usually work digital because as I start drawing, I remember why I don't like to work digital. I gotta get this hand. Move this thing here.
Oh, well, it's got to be weird with the Wacom tablet too, right? Like you're so removed from your cursor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's just I don't like the line quality is the big thing. Really.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's all kind of too samey. Feels too plastic, and I like the line variety and sort of the tactile kind of feeling. It's because even if I'm drawing like right on the screen, I think Frank quietly said it when he was doing an interview. He was explaining it's like you have a mirror and you put your finger up to the mirror, but you can't quite touch your finger.
Interesting, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, there's like just that subtle disconnect.
Yeah, you can't quite connect to it, is the thing. And also my drawings turn out terrible.
So that's an easy thing to take out of your repertoire.
Yeah, and every time I try to tinker with it, the drawing turns out terrible. Ugh.
That's good though, because then you have original art, which...
Right? Oh, but then again, I work so big and everything's in pieces.
So it doesn't help.
Yeah, no, I was trying to like scrounge up like original art for Evil to sell on the campaign. And it was just like, there's so many versions of it and different drafts and like it's all in different boxes and sketchbooks. And it's like, It's a big disaster. Like Piss Santa was easy enough to get original art.
Yeah. Well, maybe what you do.
I'm drawing with.
Maybe what you do is you take your just scan your whole sketchbook, and then your sketchbook is what you're selling, right?
I tried to sell the sketchbook where I did all the original Pissant drawings in, but like I didn't really want to sell it.
Yeah, you got to scan it. You can't sell the original.
Well, I was saying like I was going to sell it for $10,000, just almost as like a gag.
Yeah, and then if someone did it, you'd be heartbroken.
I didn't actually want to sell it was the thing, but if somebody wants to go crazy and give me $10,000, you can have it.
That's right. You could get over it, right?
Yeah. I'll get over it real fast.
On the way.
It looks nothing like Philip K. Dick, but he's like gotten a lot thinner and a lot more hair.
I feel like this is, you guys are hard on yourselves. If I did this, I draw the same character just in different rotations, but always looks the same. So
well, I'm supposed to be a professional.
I'm doodling, so that's fair.
Yeah.
I do my best with my childlike doodles, but that's not where I'm trying to make my nut, right?
No.
But yeah, I appreciate the very different approaches between the two of you.
Let me get to the other screen. Let's see here. Oh yeah, he's doing much better.
He's got the full tool. To be fair,
Yeah.
He's got the.
Yes, I work in a Cintiq. So
Well, you got the Cintiq.
yes.
And you actually know this program.
Yeah, home field advantage, right?
Yeah. I'm just like figuring out the pencil tool. I'm just going for it. Okay, I got the line thin enough to draw. Let's go.
Nice. We still don't have a story though. We got some beautiful headshots, but
Yes.
Yeah. How do I clear all this here? Do I just erase it all?
You
Go
can
ahead.
turn off the layer if you want.
yeah, bottom right.
No, let's erase it all. It's terrible.
Man,
Maybe we'll start. That looks good. We'll start with that. That'll be like the first panel. I'll try this again, but I'll draw him like he's getting a beam of light.
I like that. Okay. So what are we doing? Like
Same.
a 3-panel?
I'm going to use the same reference here, but I'm going to draw it like he's surprised.
Nice.
Yeah. And he's got like light coming down on him.
So how is this coming together? We got a headshot.
I don't know.
We have a beam of light. So we got a beginning and an end, I guess.
Yeah, get beginning and light, and then maybe he sees God.
Yeah. Are we gonna try to draw God?
No, but yeah.
Hey man, I don't know if you want to go for it.
The equivalent, maybe just Jesus. He like Jesus.
Yeah.
Big fan of Jesus. Is that your cat
That's
now?
my cat. That's Oliver.
Oh,
He's a troublemaker.
it's somebody's child now. Somebody's
Yeah,
cat.
we're just getting all the guests tonight.
all the guest stars. I'm not that exciting. You gotta really kind of pump up
We just gotta bring in all the celebrity guests
Yeah.
for the evening.
all the celebrity guests to save this
That's
interview.
right. No, it's been good. You've been carrying it.
Oh, thank you very
I
much.
respect that. I like it when I don't have to talk so much. I don't mind talking. I'll talk about myself all night, but I only have so many
with the
things to
last
talk
few
about.
Yeah, with the last few years, I just spent so much time by myself, and then I gotta go promote a book, and I gotta start doing interviews. I'm like in the middle of the interview, I'm like, I forgot how to talk to people. So socially awkward. Like I see people, I go live trying stuff every week.
Right on.
Talk to all those people, but I'm like, not trying to be entertaining or anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
usually pretty mumbly and quiet.
That's fair, and it's the
They're
dynamic
used to
of
me.
who you're with too, right? Like if you have someone who's gonna
Yeah, they know who I am, right? I'm like, that's James.
Yeah. Like he's gonna put in his
You
2
know.
cents, and then he'll get back to drawing.
He's kind of a weirdo, but his drawings are
Yeah, yeah. That's why we let him keep coming.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
He draws nice ladies.
I do appreciate your ability to draw
My
women.
life drawing. Yeah, I've been having a lot of trouble with Instagram though. It's like everybody who does figure drawings and stuff, because they used to be they had like 1 million people in India review all the
Sure.
content, right? And so your actual human would watch it. I was like, oh, that's a nice picture.
Yeah,
It's
like
not
they'd have
porn.
some context to what they're looking at.
Yeah, yeah, it's a nice artistic rendering of a nude.
Mhm.
It has artistic value. The fucking bots, they don't
Yeah,
know the difference. It's all AI.
They're just
shit
like,
now.
oh, nipple.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Nipple. We're gonna suppress you.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the button's gonna turn from green to yellow. Let's get pink. You get pink thing. The pink beam.
This might be the most like what's the word? It's like
Esoteric.
yeah, that's a good one. We're just kind of vibing. It's not not a plot-driven page we're doing here. It's just but I think it fits. I think
Yeah.
it fits your style quite a bit. So
Well, he's rescued. He's rescued from his mundane existence. Okay. See, like I can move it around with the cursor, but I can't control it with it. I can go up and down, but I can't move side to side, which I'm used to being able to do in Photoshop.
What do you want to do? You want
Oh,
to
I got
scale
the
the
no, I
drawing?
gotta get the hand button. So, well, I got a space at the bottom. Let's
Mhm.
call this a panel here. Can I do lines? How do I do lines? Ooh. I'll just
That-
freehand the line. I'm gonna freehand
Go
the
for
line.
it, go
Screw
for
it. Do it live. Do it live. That's
No, but let me do it. Let me do it.
okay. That's good.
Ah.
Oh yeah, I gotta do the hand. I'm used to all the shortcuts too. Okay.
I think the shortcuts are the same.
Are they? The hand? No, that flips it.
No?
H would be the shortcut in Photoshop. But
or is it the same as Clip
Go.
Studio?
oh, okay, there you go. And I'll put him in the middle. He's getting a beam of light from heaven, a satellite. Maybe it's God, maybe it's the Soviets.
Depends on what era he's in, I guess. Yeah.
The
No, it
balloon.
depends just what mood he's in. It varied from day to day. Sometimes he thought maybe they had MK Ultra them at his preschool, and you know whoever had done it had reactivated his MK Ultra programming. Maybe it was Jesus, maybe it was God. Maybe he was just going crazy. Maybe you know, depends what day it was. He went back and forth.
That's fair.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
There.
What's the layer you're working on? Is it this one?
I don't know.
So I can copy
I think
it
it's the top layer.
to-
Yeah,
Layer
it's all
5?
on one layer.
Yes, James. I'm gonna
Yeah,
assign
maybe
it to
put
me.
it. Yeah,
on
put
my-
it right next to yours,
Yes.
so you get like the sequence, and we can come up with something at the bottom there.
Are we gonna see where he's getting beamed to? Is that the idea?
Yeah, or something
Oh,
after he gets the beam of light.
what's
Clip did
this?
not enjoy that.
Yeah.
No, it's all black.
Right.
Yeah, yours like right next. Can you like shrink it down so it's like the same size as the portrait and just have
Yes,
those two
but
down?
I'm gonna copy it with another program.
Okay. Gonna just screenshot it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what is it? Windows Shift S is your screenshot button. There you go.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
That one I use frequently. I know you're pretty, James. You're pretty heavy on the. Is it just Instagram that you're using most of the time, or?
Yeah, I can't deal with X. I can't fucking deal with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You're pretty active for somebody who's not into it.
I mean, Instagram's fine.
Yeah.
It's, it's just.
I'm always checking your stories because you've got something funny going on.
Sure. I'll post some memes or something or whatever I got going on. If I got something to say, I'll just put it on my stories because it'll disappear. It's like ephemeral.
I like that. Yeah.
I don't need all of my thoughts forever up there.
Yeah, it's a good way to get in trouble.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I do that, but but it's certainly.
Yeah, I can't deal with too many fucking aggressive, angry people on Twitter.
Yeah, you gotta be very, very liberal with your block button when you're on there.
Yeah,
and
I'll block people on Instagram too, but it's like
how much do you want to do it?
And Twitter, forget about
Twitter, and now Elon's broken the block button too, where it doesn't actually do anything. It just hides them from your. It's almost like a mute. He just made it a mute, so they can still access your thing. They can still comment on your posts. It's like, well, what good is that to me?
I do think it's wonderful that Elon bought Twitter and ruined it for everyone, which I think is fantastic. I think that's great. I think it's a great service to humanity he's done. Best thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
No, it's easily like rocket ships, like electric cars, whatever, bro. He destroyed Twitter. That's great.
Well, the problem is he didn't destroy it fully. He just made it worse, but it's still here.
Well, he ruined it. So it's just like the power it had because it was like, barely anybody used it. Like the only people who used it were like journalists and like
It was a great news aggregator. I appreciate it for that. Like if you're reading a lot of stuff, like it was one place to kind of get all the information. And now that it's not.
Yeah, it becomes like an echo chamber, and just people get like too hyperbolic and angry about stuff. Like I listened to like a psychologist. He explained like Twitter makes you insane because like what is it, like 140 characters, whatever it is now, like 200. Whatever.
Yeah, 280.
Yeah, that's not enough for a complete thought, right? You can't express yourself with that short kind of little lippy thing, right? You can't really express a proper full thought. So you're constantly editing yourself down, making yourself dumber, constantly dumbing yourself down just to fit into that thing, right? And also like short, glib, kind of piffy statements by nature, they're more aggressive.
Yeah.
So you're making yourself dumber and angrier just by the nature of using it. And if you're tweeting multiple times a day after day, you start thinking in tweets, right? Because you're like, how can I turn this into a tweet? Because I want to say it on Twitter, right? So you end up thinking in tweets. So you're thinking like these shorter, stupid things. They're dumbed down and angrier, more aggressive, and that's how you end up becoming, right? So it makes you crazy.
Yeah, and the algorithm.
That makes sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, the algorithm feeds that too, right? Like you get more attention.
Well, it's just engagement.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So the more you troll and all that,
it rewards it, right?
100%. Now you get paid for it. So he's made it even worse. The incentive is real now.
Yeah. Well, no, because now it's like most of people spend all their time on Twitter. They're not spending time with their job. They're not spending time with their loved ones. They're not like making money. They're not drawing like 170-page comics. You don't have time because you're on Twitter doing all that stuff, trying to get engagement, right?
Yeah.
So, if you now you got paid for it, that's like another barrier where it's just like makes more and more people give up on it, which is just, I just think it's wonderful. You ruined it. It's great.
The problem is though, now there's all these like, it's, like you hit something and you break it into all these different pieces, and now there's Blue Sky and Threads and Mastodon and whatever the hell else is going to come out next.
Yeah, but they're lame, and like even if you're on there, they're lame.
Everybody's trying.
Nobody's on.
Everybody's
there.
trying to make it
it's
a
ghost
thing.
Town.
Yeah, it's not. It's never going to be the same,
you know.
right?
Yeah, it's just nobody's as active on Blue Sky as they were on Twitter because you're never going to get as much engagement. Like, what the fuck's even the point? Like,
Yeah. Well, he got scared
You
by what was it? By Substack. But now that gets suppressed, right? But that's probably the best alternative. Like it in a way, because to your point about the echo chambers.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like you. Yeah, like I tried to use. I tried to like set up a Patreon, but that site is so broken. Like just to like.
Yeah.
It took me forever to figure out how to get like verified. Like I needed my ID and shit. And like the site was just like trying to get that to work was a whole nightmare, and then like figure out like just to get it to work. And now like Apple's going to take 30%.
Yep.
And then I got to pay taxes on top of that, and I got to pay taxes.
Yeah, withholding taxes. Yep.
Just like, how much money am I going to get? Now Apple's taking another 30%. Like, how much am I actually going to get? So it's like I only have like one person on there that's actually giving me money. It's just like I'm thinking of just shutting it all down and maybe go to Substack because like I signed up for it, and like I don't know how they do it. It's like magic. I can't block it. I can't put it in my spam. It just doesn't work. It just ends up in my inbox. So it's just like I should get out of that. Because it goes straight to people's fucking emails, and you can't make it stop. It's just every day I get all these messages from fucking Substack. I'm not even on that site very much. So I'm thinking like, because I can't post my life drawing right now because like, on Instagram because the bots they'll flag immediately. So maybe I was thinking of like paywalling my live drawing.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even paywalling, but like Substack be a good one.
I think so.
What's their stance on nudity?
I think you're good. I think you're
Yeah. If I mark it as adult, be okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think as long as it's not like straight up
it.
pornography, I think you're okay. But life drawing and stuff is like.
If it's artistic.
Yeah. Like I've seen it. I've seen it on there. You're fine. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I should do that, and then I could like maybe serialize part 2 of Evil on there, and that make that a paywall thing for people.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, it would.
I was thinking of doing that on Patreon because I did set up, like I said, a Patreon, but it's just I can't stand it. It's like website.
You become a slave to it a little bit, right? Like you have to be on a schedule, and
I can't figure the damn thing out, like just to make it work.
Yeah. No, Substack's a lot more straightforward. Right, like if you used
it's like a blog.
Yeah,
it looks like a blog.
If you used any newsletter service before, like it's pretty much that, but simplified. Yeah, to your point, like it's like updating a blog, but it also has the newsletter portion.
Go straight to your people's email. That's the other thing. Like nobody's gonna like revisit your blog every day, but if you're bugging them,
it's direct
with emails to your thing. That's much more likely. Like keep reminding people you're out
exactly. There. Yeah, no, and again, you're getting their emails, so you're getting a direct connection to people. Where Facebook can't decide because you drew a naked lady today, I'm not gonna let you connect with that person anymore. Yeah,
and like Facebook's completely useless. Yeah. Like I was trying, like I throw shit up there, it's got to have the tab open.
Yeah.
And it's like it's no engagement at all. It's
Facebook's it's a dead zone.
They just want you in your little box, not like
Yeah, the only use.
It's like 26.
Doesn't say the only use I have for it is groups.
2016. After like 2016, like they all freaked out and like just ruined all their sites. All the websites got ruined after that. Just the first time Trump go.
Yeah.
And now he's back.
Coincidence.
It drives me. It's crazy because like we're Canadian, so it's like I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I'm like kind of
just don't tariff me.
I'm removed.
And we're good. All right.
Yeah, I'm worried about the tariffs, but like ultimately, like it's another country. Like I can't rally up like the anger like some people have.
Yeah.
So I'm like fairly indifferent to the whole thing, and it's just like it seems to me like it's just like if you beat him in 2020, like he was done.
Yeah.
Like even conservatives were done with him. And if you just shut the fuck up about him and stop talking about him every single day, he would have gone away.
It's true.
But
you gave him power.
And now he's back.
What is it? Don't feed the trolls, right?
Yeah.
You did that in real life.
Don't feed the trolls, and that's just like it's your own damn fault. Like and like if all you had to do is stop talking about him, and he would have gone away. Like that's his power. He just feeds off energy.
Yeah.
Of you talking.
100%.
You couldn't do that.
Right? Like, the best thing to do would be to ignore him. Like, you can't when he's president, of course, because decisions he made had impact.
But, like, you beat him.
But after that,
like, he was
yeah,
done.
that's it.
He was done. 1, 2, 3. Like, and then you had to, like, fuck with him. And, like,
right?
try to arrest him and all this shit. And that just made it more powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything backfired. Like all you had to do was just
Just
stop.
like, okay, you go live your life, and then he'll be like, blah blah blah, like whatever, man. Like we're moving on, and that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, just move on. Like they couldn't do it. Like every day, like people, like I have like people in my life who were like obsessed with him, and like will rant about him and stuff. I'm like, he's not even the president. I get like I got comic book scripts from people.
Yeah.
And it's like set in 2019, and it's all Trump. I'm like, this is 2022, and I'm like, bro, he's
It's
not
over.
the president anymore. Like, bro.
Little did they know,
Like,
they were
what the
actually
fuck?
being prescient about it.
He's gonna. Even then, I was telling people like he's gonna come back. You keep doing this
Yep.
shit.
Yeah.
You are.
Reap what you sow, I guess, right?
I don't know, man. So that's what we're gonna do for this last panel. Let's not be too divisive. Let's not make this
Yeah.
divisive. Maybe cut that whole stuff
Yeah,
out.
sure. That'll be behind the scenes.
I don't even like. I don't. Like I don't like. I got rules. Like we're talking about my Instagram stories and stuff. Like Instagram, I got rules. Like no public figures. Anybody gets angry about. I do not talk about politics at all.
Yeah, I operate kind of
It's
the
all-
same. I just try to stay out of it.
Post any memes. It's just dumb shit. It's just funny. Dumb
Yeah, exactly.
Shit. Like
I operate the same
Nope.
way. It's like, you know what?
no current events. Nothing that's in the news. Nothing divisive. I'm just my Instagram's there to sell shit.
Yep.
That's it.
Well, and you know what?
it's
You
a-
never know who you're offending. So like, and I don't care whose money
Yeah.
I'm getting. You know?
Yeah,
Like, I don't
exactly.
wanna. It,
It's irrelevant. Like I don't even.
like you said, we're
know.
Canadian.
I'm kind of
It
off
has
in my
nothing to
own-
do with us. So.
Yeah, I'm Canadian. It's just I'm off in my own little world.
Yep.
So in the last panel we do Trump.
No.
No. What would be the last panel? Maybe he just descends into heaven or something.
Like flying through the clouds,
Yeah, he gets
or is he
ascends.
standing in front of some gates, some pearly gates?
Yeah, I can erase this, right? You done with this?
Yeah, that's been copied over.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Let's turn this around.
Under the hand, I think you got your rotate.
Yeah, I got it there. Did I rotate on this? Let's see the other screen. Yeah, or wait. No, I think it'll peer. I'm sideways, but it'll peer
Yeah.
upways. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Let's see here. Oh, we're gonna do a collab here. There you are. I see you now. Where'd you go? Let's work on this
We're
together.
gonna do it together. Nice.
Let's do this together.
What are we doing?
I'll draw him going to clouds, and you do all the ephemeral, heavenly body stuff. Pencil. Can I get pencil?
Sorry, come again. Your sound just.
Oh, I'll draw his figure going to clouds. You draw all the ephemeral stuff. Or am I on your page? What is this? I think I'm on Inkstain 11. Where's Inkstain? Why can't I draw? Okay, there we go. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Get my hand here. Yeah, I'm not used to this program. at
Oh
all.
no, that's all right. You
Yeah, it's my first time too.
Oh, really? You're doing
Yes.
way better than me. Well, you're used to drawing digitally.
Yes.
This is like totally foreign
Yes.
for you, right?
I usually avoid this because this exact thing. It just feels weird, you know.
Yeah, it's a I guess it's like a learned thing, like anything, right? Like if this is
I gotta get used to it, but it's just like I don't really like the line quality too. It's like also like everybody draws on their tablet now, so everybody kind of ends up looking the same.
Sure.
Like people like, oh, you're like they talk about my stuff. It's like a singular vision and all this, where it's just like it's because everybody's like on their tablet and it kind of all blends together, right? Because the line quality all kind of ends up looking the same.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I could see that.
Whereas I got, you can see like all my scratchy sort of, how I go over lines multiple times, pilot pen, get all the different kind of imperfections of the line.
Yeah,
Ends up giving it more character.
that was always the argument for film and digital, and it's like, well, you gotta use film because you get the warmth. But that's different because this is your
Yeah, it
hand
looks
doing
way
it,
better,
though. But
Yeah, film looks way better.
yeah,
Oh yeah, don't
it depends.
then like digital.
It depends. It
Well, it depends on the lighting. Really, is the big thing.
yeah, like you could cheat it if you have a good DOP, right? But it depends.
It's like, film's like expensive.
Yeah, and it's
You know, you can't reshoot it a million
exactly.
times, and you gotta process it. It is a lot easier. I don't blame anybody for filming their movies digitally instead of on film. And at this point, the quality of the picture is not so good.
Oh wait, I'm
You're
doing.
doing great. You're doing great.
But I'm doing it backwards,
What's that?
upside down.
Oh, that's right. He looked
You're
like he
doing
was
great.
falling the way he was going.
Yes.
No, we're gonna do some like heavenly pink lights here.
Right on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes sense having it, like the human touch, right? Makes a bit of a difference. Again, but it's
Yeah, at least for me, I feel
yeah,
like.
it all depends on what you're used to and how you use the tools. But at the end of the day, it's
I'm also like just kind of a Luddite.
sure.
Like I don't even have a cell phone.
Don't even have a cell phone.
I have like no, I don't have a smartphone. I don't carry a smartphone.
Oh goodness! All right.
I was having problems because like I was supposed to do this thing and they were all on WhatsApp.
Sure.
Like I have a little iPad Mini and that I can use basically every app except for fucking WhatsApp.
Yes, you need a phone number. That's right.
Yeah, I don't have a phone number, but I can use like Discord,
Instagram and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, Snapchat, whatever the fuck. Any of them. Just not fucking goddamn. Whatchamacallit? WhatsApp.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Which was bit me on my ass this week. So.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Well, it's at the same time, it's great that you're not on all those things. Like.
Well, I got out of school in like 2008 and completely broke, and that's when like iPhone started as a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't have any money to get one, so I didn't. And then it just got to the point where everyone had one. They were always looking at it all the time, and just like I, felt special. I didn't. At this point, it's just like a point. I'm like stubbornly a point of pride. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's too late now, right? The moment's passed.
It's too late. It's my identity. I don't have a cell phone. I'm the guy without a cell phone.
Yeah. No, I work in IT, so that's
Oh yeah,
it's totally different approach. I'm like first adopter.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're the
I'm
problem.
the problem. Graduated at the same time.
At this point,
but...
I'm very stubborn too. Is the other thing. So it's like I've decided I'm not going to get it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I used to be like that with certain things, and then just I don't know. I've softened over time with my my stances, but I respect.
Well, I tell people that, and first they don't believe me, and then they like say it's a good thing, and I shouldn't get one.
Yeah, I mean, if you've made it this far, yeah, like you've missed the peak.
Like I have it.
So
yeah. Like I have a tablet.
Sure.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I use it like a cell phone, but I just don't carry it around everywhere. I might have it in my bag, and if I get Wi-Fi someplace, I'll check it on Instagram.
But you've put that barrier, which is the thing, right?
Yeah,
like you have to
like
get
if
Wi-Fi.
I'm out, like I'm easy enough to find. Like I'm usually working at my desk, and if you contact me there, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm easy to get a hold of, unless I'm like not at my desk and out and about, and then there's no point anyway because I'm not like you want me to do something for you. I don't have any of my stuff there.
True. Well, and that's good though, because you want to be.
Yeah, and it's like I'm out and about. I don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Who's gonna call me? My mom.
Well, the thing I always heard is like, because the argument's always, what if there's an emergency? And it's like, well, if there's an emergency, what can I actually do for you?
Yeah.
Like,
when I rush over.
Yeah, right. Like if
I'm in an emergency, I don't know.
That's different. Yeah, I guess if you're like, I don't know, drowning or something like.
I did have like an accident earlier this year. My first trip to the emergency room ever. I slipped on my bike going over a metal bridge just after it rained, and I dislocated my shoulder. I just like
popped right out. Yeah.
Well, no, I was like going over this bridge and it was slippery, and like my bike just flew out from under me. I was like, before I knew what happened, I was flying through the air horizontally. I just put my hand up like this, protect my head. I landed with all my weight right here and dislocated my shoulder. And I basically had to ride the rest of the way back home with my shoulder fucked up, so I can get my health card and then go to the hospital.
Oh man. Wow.
And then I had to sit in the hospital all night in the emergency room because, of course, Canadian healthcare
Yeah.
takes forever.
Yeah. It's
So I was there 8 hours from midnight to 8 a.m. I get there, I'm like, I think I dislocated my shoulder, guys. And they're like, nah, you can't be able to move your hand. You probably just like bust your rotator cuff. We'll send you for x-rays. And they get the x-ray. Oh, you did dislocate your shoulder. Okay, can you pop it back in? It's like, okay, well, the doctor's got to come talk to you and stuff. It's like, that took another 2 hours. I'm in horrible pain the whole time and stuff. Eventually, they do pop it back in. And then I gotta go for x-rays again. And by that time, I'm exhausted. And they gave me a bunch of drugs. I'm just like fucking zonked out. I'm like, ugh.
Well, better your shoulder than your head, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess so. It healed up. It's, I can exercise again and go do my workouts and everything. It just gets a little tender sometimes.
Sure. Well, that's for life. My older my older friends like to remind me every time I hurt myself.
Yeah, I made like 37 years without having to go to the emergency room.
That's lucky. That's pretty lucky. I can't say the same myself. So I had internal stuff going on. So
oh, that's not
it was
good.
a gallbladder. That I don't recommend it.
Oh,
that one hurts.
Yeah, they gotta cut that shit.
Oh yeah, and they don't do it right away. They're like, try the diet, and then you suffer another 2-3 times, and then they're like, okay, we'll take care of this. So I don't recommend it if you can avoid that.
No, I wouldn't recommend dislocating your shoulder either.
Fair, yeah.
But it is an easy fix. They just pop it back in, and then it's just rehabbing.
Yeah, that's fair.
A lot of this, like going like this.
Yeah.
And you gotta do this one. You gotta, I was gonna make a bad joke.
Yeah. If you leave it to the imagination, it's even funnier. Yeah.
Like. Okay.
Oh man.
I caught myself.
That's good. No need to get canceled today.
I don't think it's gonna get any better. I think that's good there.
It's good.
Let's go with it.
Okay.
I like the way this came out because it's like, we have each of you doing your own spin in the first couple panels, and then it's like your collaboration in the last one.
Yeah.
So it's like
just go with that. We'll call it a night.
Yeah. This worked out cool.
We did 2 hours. It's pretty.
Oh
good.
yeah.
Do you wanna put any balloons?
No, I think we're good.
Nah, I think we're good.
This is the artist special. We're gonna let your art do literally all the talking.
Literally all the talking. Yeah, read Valis if you want to know what's going on.
Yeah. Everybody's getting a homework assignment.
Yeah, learn about Phil K. Dick.
Yeah.
Good writer. I like his. He's good at character. People say he's not like a great writer, but like I like his. He's very good at character and dialogue.
Yeah.
Sort of. It's very like natural and flows nice.
Well, and you could see the hints of his work in like all kinds of sci-fi nowadays too, right? So.
Oh yeah, he's very influential. Everybody's kind of copying.
Yeah. So it's hard to. Again, I think it's just the literary versus pulp writing thing, right?
Well, he's kind of both. He kind of straddles the line.
Yeah.
And sort of transcended the pulp origins of himself, and then into literature, and sort of everybody had to catch up to him a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true, right? But I find if you write sci-fi, sometimes you just don't get that respect in general. Like you'll just never.
Well, that was his problem during his life.
Yeah.
And then he died fairly early. Like he abused himself with the speed for years and years, and that did a real number on him. He started stroking out in his early 50s, mid 50s. He actually died. Like Blade Runner was in the works. They were working on it, and they had he'd seen like some of the special effects, but he died before they actually finished it.
Yeah, so that's got to be
like
early 80s then, yeah?
Like 81 or
wow.
82.
Yeah.
And then that's when he started getting popular because people like that movie and they wanted to go read the book and they discovered him. The book, like Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. Like it's not actually like filmable, I would say, because there's like this whole there's a lot of like weird subplots that cut out of
Sure,
it.
sure.
It works in the book, but I don't think you could film it, make it like work. Like the characters, everybody has. There's a whole like religious subplot where there's this new religion that everybody
Okay.
follows, and they have like this appliance in their house that can like transport you mentally to go talk to the deity of the
Yeah,
religion,
yeah.
and then get like life advice and all this, and there's like the whole thing about you know everybody wants to be altruistic, and they in this society the most altruistic thing you could do is care for an animal, because every animal's in danger, because humans have like fucked the world up to the point where all these animals are almost extinct. So to make up for it, everybody does penance by like having a pet that they take care of. And it's weird exotic pets like an ostrich or a lemur or something like that, or pygmy or
Yeah,
something.
so that's like just
And
a totally different thing from like what you
yeah,
get at a
he
Blade
has
Runner,
like
right?
yeah, Deckard in the book, he has a fake electric sheep, a robotic sheep, and he's really terrified.
Hence the title. Yeah.
It's a point of shame for him that he can't afford a real animal. He has to like have an electric animal just to keep up appearances with his neighbors,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's like he's terrified of everybody finding out that he doesn't have a real animal. That his sheep is fake robot,
Which
right?
makes that makes
So
sense
then
thematically. Yeah.
yeah, and then he's working as a Blade Runner to kill these other robots,
Mhm.
the replicas, to earn enough money to get a real animal. I think he gets like I forget what he gets. It's like a goat or something, or maybe I forget what he gets. But then he like kind of starts like a sexual relationship with one of the
Ships.
one of the replicas he's trying to check down.
Yeah, yeah.
And it goes south very quickly and falls apart. And then out of spite, the replica goes to his house and throws his real animal they just bought off the side of the building and kills it.
Wow.
That's
So
kinda
that's
like,
that did not make the final cut.
no, like I don't know how you would film
Yeah.
that, especially like in the early 80s, and make it make sense. You read the book, it flows really nice. Like it sounds weird when I tell it,
Sure.
but like when you're
Well, and in
you're in,
isolation
like-
as well, right? Like to the rest of the
yeah,
story.
yeah. When you read it, like it's in your head, and you can picture all this stuff, and like he's really good at character, and that's kind of like what drives you. It kind of like pulls you through these really weird, off the wall concepts. Is the character, and you kind of relate to it. Like his characters are very down to earth, and they're very like relatable motivations. They're motivated by like this guy's like
they keep you grounded, and then it
keep
kind
up
of
appearances. Yeah.
And he never describes the technology at all.
No, like that's one of the criticisms people have, because it's like he's not very flowery or very like poetic in his prose. They're very like pulpy.
Yeah.
It's just but it's really just like the dialogue and the characters, the thing, and like like in Ubik, like okay, we're gonna go to the moon now, and they go to the moon, and they don't describe any of the car. They don't describe the spaceship or anything. We're in the moon now, and then there's like explosion. Okay, we gotta get back to the Earth.
yeah.
Now they're back in the Earth, and then they gotta go like, oh, let's go to New York, and they're just there. But it's also like
But personally, I prefer that
Oh my
style.
God.
Like I like the pulpy style. That's always been my.
it is like funner to read. I think.
Yeah.
Like less less involved.
And it lets it relies a lot on tropes for you to fill in the blanks yourself. Like you don't necessarily need flowery descriptions of things that we've all experienced,
No.
right? So
he's living it, so he doesn't need to,
Yeah,
to describe
exactly.
it. It's like
No, a lot of it's
if-
like I say, a lot of it when you like, it's interesting when you look into his his biography. Like there's a couple documentaries on Philip K. Dick online. I've probably watched them dozens each, and it's just you piece together like what period of his life is this from? Which wife was he with? What was going on? Like Scanner Darkly is like basically autobiographical. Like he was living in. I think his fourth wife had left him, and he had all these kids living in his house just to keep him company. And he was doing speed and still trying to write. And he's also selling drugs too. And there's like all this like at one point like he came home and somebody had blown up his safe and his house was destroyed, and he's like, "Oh, thank God, I'm not really paranoid. People are actually trying to fuck me up and like ruin my life." You know, he was trying to figure out like who had done it. And it's like maybe it was the cops, maybe it was the government, because one of the things he wrote in his book was too close to the truth, and they came after him. How do you find out about this stuff? It was like a whole thing. But it was probably he was selling speed or cocaine, and the drug dealers came and got
Sure.
it. Like his friends who knew him say that's probably what it was, right?
So it sounds like to really appreciate his novels, you need to read
It's a whole
his biography as
it's a
well.
whole giant rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole. You read them fine. They read fine by themselves, but it's just you read a couple and you go like a layer deeper.
Yeah, it
It's
adds
like,
context to everything, right?
You know, like I look at my shit, and it's just like I remember. Oh yeah, that's where I got that from. It's almost like a diary, but like a personal thing.
Sure.
Where it's like nobody else would get that out of it except for me. It's just like where my head was at the time. I think everybody who writes, especially like with me, I'm doing everything. When you're a writer, obviously you're writing the whole thing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all, you can't help but make it personal.
Yeah. Right? Like if you're talented, it's not a complete self-insert, but there's always going to be a part of you in it, right? Like you.
Yeah, I think if you're like motivated to tell a story in general, like with a specific protagonist, there's always going to be part of you in that protagonist.
Exactly. And it might just be you in
Like,
the time that you're writing it, right? Like, but
yeah, like, you know, people are like, "Oh, is this guy you?" I'm like, "No, not really." Not. I like when I get upset and really angry, like I will just start screaming cunt at people. That part is autobiographical, but everything else, like I don't think he's. I did put like this guy here, like in the chapter 3, like this is supposed to be a.
Wait, I'm gonna stop sharing so
Yeah, go
you
ahead.
can,
Yeah.
you can see better the drawing.
Yeah. Like this guy here, like that's supposed to be a self-portrait without my glasses.
nice.
Right? But that was more to do with the fact that, like, I want, like, in the 3rd chapter, there's sort of this whole progression flashback of where you see the city of the future. I need like a point of view character for the audience to follow into the city of the future and be kind of like your surrogate.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to bring that character back at any point in the book. So, like, how do I make that work? But if I make a self-portrait, well, that's something. Like, what it is, I don't know. But like, it's for the audience to figure out.
Yeah.
That's why I put myself
That's
in.
fair. That's reasonable.
Yeah. I guess it's like a literal
that is a self-insert, but it's different. It's not. Yeah.
It's not like
it's a reasonable
I'm not
one.
like. Yeah, like it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm going to put, like, it's literally like a self-portrait.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like
I made myself look a lot more handsome
nice
than I am in real life, but you get it.
We
yeah,
always
right?
Yeah, I don't flatter myself,
Oh man.
but you know, and it's just, you know, I drop it after that. But it's just like I wasn't going to bring the character back, so like if it's me, well, that's like some sort of profundity. I don't mean some.
Yeah, it's an Easter egg, if anything, right?
Yeah, it's an Easter egg. If
Yeah.
anything.
Well, they do that all the time in film. It's like, hey, those guys are the writers. The angry customer at the, you know, the donut shop.
Oh, yeah.
That was the guy who wrote the show. So that's.
They always get the cameo.
Right?
I was watching Ed Wood. Like I was watching Ed Wood again for Halloween, and I realized for the first time ever, like one of the people at one of the guy at the party where they're trying to run the funds to film Bride of Frankenstein. The one guy's like, "What part is Vampira playing?" He points over there. That's the guy from Plan 9 from Outer Space. That's the main guy. I just recognized his voice for the first time ever. Like,
Nice.
what's Vampira place? Oh, that's the guy. That's the hero from Plan 9 from Outer Space. They put him there. It was like an Easter egg. I just realized that the first time.
There's always
There's a lot of Easter eggs.
yeah. There's always something to pull out, at least when they do it right. Like
Yeah. It's a good movie, Ed Wood.
yeah, that one's been a while as well. I haven't checked that out in a really long time.
Oh, I watched it. Like, it's one of the movies I go back to on Halloween.
Oh, that's
time.
your repeat. Nice.
Yeah, I watched. I watch Rocky Horror. I watch Ed Wood. I watch like From Beyond. I like corny '80s horror.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my jam. I'm not like too huge into horror, especially like modern horror. I don't like it all, but like, yeah, I like the kind of corny, kind of a little perverted '80s. You know, I like Reanimator. I like Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
From Beyond. That's kind of my vibe.
I'm shocked there isn't a theater around here that's caters to exactly that. I know there is in LA. I can picture it, but I can't think of one here.
I mean, like, you get there's a couple theaters they'll play old shit. Depends what time of the year it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I know the review. They tried to.
The Review, the
Yeah.
Paradise.
The
They should just
Fox.
play the Phantom of the Paradise. You ever see that one? That's another one I like
I
to
haven't
watch.
seen that now.
It's a good one to watch with Rocky Horror because it's kind of a 1970s rock opera.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's based off of Phantom of the Opera, but it's the club the rock club they were in is called the Paradise. So it's Phantom of the Paradise,
Interesting.
and it's like a rock. It's a musical. It's got a bunch of songs in it. Paul Williams, I think he wrote a bunch of songs for like the Carpenters and stuff back in the 70s. He was a really big songwriter at the time. It's actually Brian De Palma's second movie, and then he made Carrie after that. Like,
Okay.
Phantom of the Paradise bombed hard. Like, it was made no impact at all on release, and then he made Carrie, which was a huge hit,
Nice.
right?
Okay.
And then, like, I think the only place, like, I heard about, because the only place it got really popular was, like, some random town in Winnipeg who had, like, a Phantom of the Paradise, like, holiday, or, like,
Sure, yeah.
they would play it every year. It was a big thing. Like, people, there was just, like, copies of it that got passed around. Everybody really liked that movie in the one town. It is a really good movie.
Nice.
You check it out. It's on YouTube, I think. Phantom of the Paradise. Give me you guys recommendations.
Yeah, I'll be making notes off this episode because you've thrown out a few gems.
Yeah, you gotta check out Alejandro Jabaloski. Watch El Topo.
Yes.
You gotta get
The entire Philip
Phantom
K.
of the
Dick
Paradise.
catalog plus biography.
Yeah, every Phil K. Dick, you gotta read Kurt Vonnegut.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Starting with
There's
Slaughterhouse
a couple
5, and
other
I'll go from there.
Yeah, start with that. I like what's another good one by him? People like Breakfast of Champions, but yeah, that's pretty good.
Right on.
Yeah, start with Slaughterhouse 5, I guess. Like Slaughterhouse 5, like Kurt Vonnegut, he went to World War II and he was a prisoner of war, and he actually survived the bombing of Dresden, which was the most number of people killed in like a single evening. Like 100,000 people got killed. Like more people died in Dresden,
Mhm.
the bombing of Dresden, than died in Hiroshima
Wow.
and Hiroshima put together. And he survived because the Germans were keeping their POWs in that town in an underground slaughterhouse freezer.
Okay.
And on the door it said Slaughterhouse 5. That's where the title got. And it was sort of acted as like a makeshift bomb shelter,
Oh,
right?
jeez.
So like the entire city was completely destroyed, but the American soldiers who were POWs were all safe in this like slaughterhouse freezer that they turned into like a little makeshift prison to store them in.
Interesting.
Right. And he got out from the war, and he found out like that was the most people to die in a single like event ever, in a single evening or whatever. And he's like, wow, that's amazing. I survived that. I should write a book about
That's
that. It'd be easy to
that's
write a book.
content.
It'd be easy
Yeah.
too. It'd be easy too because like all I had to do is say what happened.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the whole thing he talks about, because like afterwards they like brought them back up. It's like, okay, you guys got to dig out the bodies now.
Oh, man.
The Germans told him to go dig out the bodies. So then he got like he started working as a corpse miner, he called it. So he would be digging through, but there was too many corpses to pull out. So they would just find like, dig up a room full of people, dead corpses, and they would just like take a flamethrower to it and burn them all
my
up.
goodness.
Grisly stuff. And he just like, it was a hell of an experience, and it'd be like a big historical thing to like write a book about. And he's like, I should write a book about it. But then he got horrible writer's block, and he couldn't write about it as much as he wanted to and tried to for 20 years, until finally he just figured out by making it this wacko PTSD fever dream where he breaks down time and space, and there's aliens and there's all this other shit, but it's all just a metaphor with dealing with like what had happened to him. And like, the character is supposed, like there's like an insert character that's him, but there's also like the protagonist who's also kind of him, but also like sort of represents everybody he went to war with.
Sure.
And like, it's a whole thing. It's a very interesting book, and it's like, it sounds crazy, and it is, but it reads really well.
Right on.
And like he was trying to make sense of the whole thing, and the way what it ends up, like the moral of the story is, I don't know, shit happened. That's basically like what so like he keeps repeating it over and over again, so it goes, and it's just
Nice.
Shit happens. That's sort of the moral
Well,
of
it's
the story.
on my list. It's on my list. I will.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
will
yeah.
get to it.
It's a good
It's
book.
overdue. It's one of those ones that you know is a classic.
Yeah,
and-
like that's like even he talks about like of all my books, like the one really great one I wrote was Slaughterhouse-Five. That's the one that's kind of like entered the English canon of literature.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah. It makes sense.
It's another good one by him. Mother Night, I think, is one that's like more of a thriller. That's like a Nazi. He's living in America, and it's just sort of like his past comes back to haunt him, but it's very good.
Nice.
Mother Night's a good one. I don't know. I like Bluebeard. That's like one of his later books. It's sort of like an old man who's an artist, kind of making sense of his life.
You mentioned.
And it's sort of you get the flashbacks. It almost kind of reminds me of like a Dickens novel, like Nicholas Nickleby or somebody, or Great Expectations.
Okay.
Because it's like the guy's whole life, sort of through things, and he goes from rags to riches, back to rags again. By the end, he's like he married a woman who's a millionaire and stuff. So but he's impoverished. But like the hook is, he was like in the book, he's like friends with all the post expressionist painters from the 50s, like Jackson Pollock and Rothko and all those guys, and he was obsessed with that sort of art. And he wasn't rich, he didn't have any money, but any money he would get, he would buy paintings from those guys, and if they ever need rent money or anything, he would give them money and he would get paintings from them. Sure. And his wife at the time's like, why are you buying this shitty art that looks like nothing? What the fuck's wrong with you? What is this? We're all starving, you have kids, why aren't you paying for it?
Yeah,
I don't know, I like it, it's good, I just want to buy this stuff. And then of course by the time he's an old man, all these fucking shitty paintings are worth millions and millions of dollars. He's like multi-millionaire. He's got like one of the largest collections of post-expressionist paintings in the world, and everybody's like giving him money to come look at his paintings and stuff, and it's just him making sense of the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And it ties together really well, right, at the time. And like as an artist, like at the time especially, I was kind of like at a point where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm like in my 30s. It's like I read that book and I get to
that was a good kick in the ass.
I was like, yeah, it was a good white pill sort of book.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's my favorite of his, but I think probably the most accessible one is Slaughterhouse-Five.
Great on.
And you can go into all the ones. There's like some of them aren't as great. Like Dead-Eye Dick's not as good. Jailbird's not as good. Slapstick's not as good, but there's some good ones in there.
Nice. Yeah. No,
Yeah. Anyway.
I will catch up at some point.
I can go on and on.
It sounds like it.
Stop.
I'll stop you. I don't have a good segue out of this though.
You got enough material.
Oh yeah.
To edit something together,
Yeah, for sure. No, thank you for sticking around.
I think maybe I don't know how much you edit this stuff together. Maybe edit all the Phil K. Dick stuff together, and then we do the drawing.
Yes, that's
I feel like we did the page pretty quickly compared to like the rest of our.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'll find a nice way to.
That'd be a good segment.
Make this nice and coherent.
Like a nice put all the Phil K. Dick shit together with me going off.
Yeah.
That'd be a good video.
I think so. Yeah, there's definitely a couple themes we've hit in and out. I'll make them...
Just break up into like my themes.
That's right. I'll make them make sense.
But yeah, I had a fun time. Yeah, it was great.
Right on. Thanks, man.
So I got several books out right now. I got Piss and Apocalypse. You can get that right now. I have Evil. By the time this is out, it should be in print, should be available. You can contact me through Instagram. You can pick up both of them together. You can get original sketches from me, whatever you want, I'll draw for you. You can check out, commissions I've done for other people. They're pretty involved. I do full color and everything. And I have another book called Tales to Enlighten. If you want to get a copy of that, you'll have to go through the writer Matt King's Etsy account. Go to King Mega Trip on Etsy, and you can still pick up copies of that, I think. I don't think he's sold out quite yet, but he's running out very quickly. So, and I should have another book out eventually with Fred Kennedy. I guess the title of it is called The Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre. If that doesn't sell you on, I don't know what to tell you. But that'll eventually come out through Mad Cave, eventually.
That's awesome.
Oh. Yeah, it's all my books I got going on right now.
You sound busy enough. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I try to keep busy. I just, if you leave me alone, eventually a book will pop out eventually. If you give me money, a book will eventually materialize.
That's wonderful.
It's good.
All
Well,
right.
thank you for spending time with us, Roberto.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I had a great time. Yeah, we were a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah, awesome.
Nice to meet you
Thank you
both.
very
Yeah,
much.
nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Okay, well,
Nice
Roberto,
to meet
you
you
want to
too.
give people a shout? Let them know where they can find you.
You can find me on robertoviacavaillustration.com, and you can sign to my newsletter there, and you will be updated with all the things that I'm
Right
doing.
on. And then I'm Adriano, Pesto Comics on everything, pestocomics.com, at Pesto Comics on all the socials. And yeah, with that, thank you very much, James. This was awesome. Thank you so much. Had a lot of fun.
Great to meet you guys. Great to have you. Good night.